The following is a presentation of MRE UNO Division 2. Hello and welcome back to MRE UNO's Jazz July here on the YouTube channel for the Syncopated 16 here in the Saxophone region. We got our last stream of the round here, and this is going to be a big matchup here as for some people it's going to be the infamous number duo here going at it here with the 6th seed and the 7th seed here, but for both players, it's going to be more than that. Going to be a big opportunity to make their case for the playoffs here. Both at 6 wins apiece coming into this one, looking for their 7th of the season. It's going to be number 6 seed Gabriel taking on number 7 seed AiCoVT in a massive match for both. Both looking to make their second regional final of the season and have a big head-to-head win that can help them when it comes to the final rankings for the playoffs here. So, going to be a big match for both here. Glad to have you with us here in this one. Without further ado, let's get things rolling into the bracket here as just kind of taking a summary of what's been happening so far. So we're at the point of the rounds where we are locking in the regional final matchups here, and whoever wins this one will actually have a tougher challenge because they're going to be facing off the 2024 winner of this tournament, Nightwalker, who took down YOLO 4-2 earlier in the round. That ended up being the first match of the Syncopated 16, actually. So kicked off the round there. Nightwalker getting the 4-2 win, moving on to the Elite Eighths and the Saxophone Regional Final. For AiCo and Gabriel, both have had kind of similar paths to get here in a way, but kind of not. Got a both players got an opening round win against someone who was just kind of hoping to spoil the party in the Swing 64. AiCo beating Danny 4-2, Gabriel beating Minute 4-1, ended both their seasons pretty effectively. And the Triad 32 both end up playing playoff caliber competitors. AiCo getting the big win over Tim in the upset, and Gabriel getting the upset over Scars 4-3. So for both coming off a big win here, looking to add another one to their resume, and then off to the regional finals for the winner of this one, who will face the winner of this tournament 2 years ago. So again, this is going to be a lot for both these players here. That 7-win mark is going to be big. We've been talking a lot about the D2 Championship bubble battle as well as the playoff bubble battle. In terms of the LCQ, I think both these players are looking safe to be in there. I think the big question is going to come to the at-large discussion here. Because for both, they're definitely knocking on the door. But for sure are going to want to try to get this win here today to boost their odds. But we'll see how this all plays out. We'll get into the stream here and get things rolling soon. But for the stream here, I will mention Cody Smart will be my co-commentator here, but he'll be hopping in just a bit. But for now, we'll go to both our players here to get some of their pre-game thoughts. Gonna start off with the higher seed in this one, Gabriel, who actually was coming off a stream in the last round. You versus Scars was streamed, so it's gonna be another one for you here in a row. And if you make the regional finals, that would be 3 straight. But going up against AiCoVT, this is another playoff-esque match for you here. Just kind of how are you feeling heading into this one, especially once again in the stream environment, and for you, what is it going to take to get the win here, especially coming off such a close match between you and Scars?
Yeah, coming off such a close match with Scars where I was getting a lot of the +4s in there, but Scars was able to still push to game 7. And as in terms of making the D2 championship, I feel like that I'm in a pretty good spot, and I believe my win last round just guaranteed my spot even more. But I will safely say that if I manage to win this one, then I'll be 100% in. Doesn't matter my result against Nightwalker if I win. But yeah, I'm gonna have to replicate my run from my John March in terms of the streams, where I'm gonna be streamed every single round except for the round of 64. So I feel like it's gonna. I hope it's a good match with AiCoVT, who was your co-commentator in my match against the Lemon in my John March. So I wish him good luck.
All right, well, we'll see how this one goes. Again, big matchup for Gabriel here. Cody Smart did join in. We'll get to him in a second, but we're gonna go to AiCoVT first. Who will be going up against Gabriel? Aiko, I mean, Gabriel mentioned you were the commentator for the match against the Lemon and Match on March with Gabriel. I believe that's what he mentioned. But now you're going up against Gabriel here. Came off a big win over Tim in the last round. Now looking to make it back to the regional final for the first time since February Flurry. It has been a bit of a mid-season slump for you, but I mean, you were turning it up at the right time here to kind of push yourself back into the picture here for the D2 Championship here, and you're going to have a big chance to try and get another valuable win after taking down Tim in the last round. Just kind of immediately just like your immediate thoughts coming into this one here, as for you, definitely feels like a big match, and getting to that 7-win mark is going to be big, but just kind of how are you feeling heading into this one today?
Yeah, I mean, it's you pretty much said it right there. This is probably the biggest match of my season. I mean, obviously, the one win that I got in Mahjong March, as well as, all of the work that I put in February definitely are helping get me here as well and are kind of the foundation. But now that we're here in the moment, this really is make or break on being able to push forward to get to that regional finals, to get that D2 chip spot potentially, um, and just hopefully be able to knock out another person who's at that same level as me in terms of that win count. But yeah, I think definitely a great momentum change has happened for me here, just going from only one win in March and then not even winning at all in the third tournament, to getting a solid win in round one, and then just round two having completely, relatively even in terms of ammo fight with Tim, who is, clearly a very strong player and was one of the contenders and was clearly deemed a pretty big upset. uh so I think there's definitely a lot of momentum for me riding into this. Very excited to see how this goes, but best of luck to Gabriel as well.
Gee, if you're trying to speak, nobody can hear you.
I always forget to unmute my microphone. Anyways, well, now we've heard from both our players here. Gonna get some quick thoughts here from the co-commentator for this one, Cody. On the paper, how are you feeling about this matchup here? Another big one, both with kind of similar records coming into this one. Aiko with a slightly better game record, but gonna be a big matchup here today, and it's gonna be one of the last two matches of the round winner. This gets Nightwalker.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is going to be a solid matchup. Another top 25. I mean, both of them did get some huge wins against Scars and Tim. But now, as I take a look at the top 25 rankings, I mean, once again, this is a big one. As Gabriel ranked number 13, he does get past Scars at the very least. So he's going to be at the absolute worst 12th. Meanwhile, for AiCoVT, he did enter this tournament at number 23, but he is definitely going to be climbing up the rankings here. If AiCoVT wins this, he is going to be a similar situation to what Mark went through this time at T4 last year. But for Gabriel, just trying to continue the improvement story from being down in the dumps at the end of last year to really making a big comeback. It is going to be a big story either way, and whoever wins, more importantly, will have the advantage at home against Nightwalker, who did win T4 2 years ago. So a lot is hanging on the balance here, as you two really want to get this, because winner has a better shot at making the chip, while the loser, well, they might be on to the LCQ more than likely.
All right, as we get things underway for game one here, red 0 the start here on a 9-card start. Gabriel looking to start in the middle here on this one, but we'll see how this goes. Gabriel going to open up with just the number play.
Ooh, and just like that, switch to green. We've always seen those early switches at the start. Could mean anything.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely an uptick in the amount of times people have been switching the colors towards the start of the game here. Do get an early ditto on that one here, but again, for now running green here, AiCo went for the switch to start here, but we'll see if Gabriel will go for a switch here of his own, or if he'll be AiCo looking to control the colors early on. Well, there you go. Gabriel gets to switch to blue.
Here,
Ooh, well,
ooh, in a way it did it, but not really, as it looks like AiCoVT wanted to attack first with the +2.
yeah, it's gonna be a little slap there. Gabriel gonna get thrown back a bit. AiCo also gonna take the lead there. Gabriel gonna minimize the +2 there, but well, I was gonna say AiCo had the lead, but it seems like those are the only 2 blues he had, and he's gonna draw.
This sets it up for, oh, never mind. Well, it sets up Draw City at least.
Gabriel gonna draw also, so yeah, we're looking at an early draw city here. Kind of interesting though, because I mean we go into that blue, which seemed for both to be a bit of a need to get out of here quickly color, and neither's really able to do that. So gonna end up forcing draws, but okay.
Oh, that has to
This
be top deck.
is
This absolutely has to be top deck. And here's the thing, G. I was about
well,
to add on that in recent matches, yesterday and to an extent this morning where we had Plan A Mania over in D1, I mean, these draw cities are seeming to be dictating who gets the luckier draws, which almost immediately lead to a win. We haven't seen any
well,
games being majorly dragged out as of late, and we haven't seen any holdouts, or major holdouts, I should say, even if the deck does get dried out later. But it's ultimately going to come down to who drew the much better cards as, oh boy, we may have a chain here for Gabriel coming back from behind.
well, I'm gonna mention this because I don't think we really had too many draws there in that cycle. I mean, it was only 2 draws each. Gabriel gonna go for a +6 here, so that's gonna throw AiCo back. But I'm a little curious here because I'm not 100% sure if the +4 ended up being a top deck. It could have been a hold from AiCo and then just deciding to go for it depending on what he got. But again, with how this is played out, it's kind of resetting things a little bit here. AiCo gonna go back into the blue, which caused that draw city earlier. After Gabriel did the +6, and Gabriel gonna have none of that gonna cross over into yellow. So
Ooh,
back into
that's
the yellow that he
interesting.
switched out of.
Oh, back to red. Honestly, good move by AiCo over there. I think Gabriel, to a little extent, might have faked the yellow just a smidge, but honestly, what I'm going to be curious about is going to be the +4 by AiCo. That is something I am going to put at the back burner for the end of the game.
Well, yeah, I mean we're seeing all the runs
Oh
coming out here right now.
my.
Just seeing so many big chains coming on, and then we're gonna see another 4-card one here. Gabriel with the lead slightly, both are low. AiCo is out though, so I think he was hoping for a draw there and just did not get it.
That might have been the fake out. The fake out that Gabriel has been setting up for a little bit. That big old chain makes you think they're out. Nope! He just goes on and goes forward. As now he actually goes to green. At this point, any color change after that's got to be a heater.
Gabriel's been having a lot of 7s here, so that's him working out. +4 there from AiCo. That
Ooh, good
one,
response. Good response
ooh.
right there.
It's another one where it's like I could have been a hold, but maybe he could have just gone for it there because I mean it was not looking to be a great situation for AiCo. Gabriel was down to 2 here. We'll see what he's able to make of this. Could go down to 2 himself, but Gabriel looking to try and reel him back in.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like we're having a lot of lucky draws here as of late. As up, here we go with the 7s again, and this time he's out. AiCo's out.
Gabriel going to
And
be out
back to
also,
Draw City we
so
go.
yeah, I don't think it's the worst situation for either player here. Yeah, getting about 5 minutes into this one. Yeah, because I mean, both are running it down here, and this blue is gonna cause both to be stuck once again. So, obviously for both wanting to try to run that to the finish, but I don't think this is necessarily a bad spot for either to be in. AiCo with the top deck blue 3 here. We'll see if that gets a switch out, and we get rolling again.
Yep, AiCoVT found a blue card to play, and Gabriel switches it out. We could be playing gambles at this point with both players going low, and for AiCoVT and for Gabriel, he is behind despite switching, so we'll see if he possibly has anything that could even the playing field.
Well, he's got a reverse that he's gonna
Ooh.
draw on, so that's not a great sign for Gabriel here. Gonna be looking to get out of this green.
Yeah, absolutely. That might have
Well,
been a
unless
possible
AiCo
setup
actually
for a
wants
fatal
that.
switch.
That's
Hmm.
that's a little
That
risky.
one's risky.
It wouldn't matter.
Didn't matter.
Oh, okay, so
Well,
that's 3+4s for AiCo to open up the game here, so that's definitely going to be a little bit of an annoyance for Gabriel there because it did not seem like he was getting much on that one, but
yeah,
AiCo gonna go 3 strikes, you're out on that one. I'm gonna take 1-0. Ooh, yeah,
yeah.
that
I
is
mean, I definitely. My
that
hand
is
at one
junk.
moment. Oh boy, yeah. That is what I like to call the bot not being nice to you for a bit. Unfortunately, no questions there on that regard.
Yeah, I mean, for Gabriel, kind of in a tough spot there, working with a hand that's kind of just a bunch of junk there. I mean, you got no connections, all 4 different, like, that's the worst possible situation you could be in when you're down to 4 cards. Um, just going for the +2 with the wild red. Okay. Um, oh,
That's fair. I
no, that
mean,
was not the
you
hand
try
that
to
the game ended
go.
on. It was it was a little different. Okay. But
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, I mean, AiCo, you had a lot of +4s in that one. Kind of helped you find your way to the end there, but just kind of walk us through how that game went for you, because there were definitely moments that that you were drawing and then threw the +4 out there, and then there were times where it just kind of came in as a more defensive manner.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really too much to say. I think my timing of when I used them kind of worked in my favor there. There were a couple points where I did hold on, like that first one. I did draw it, 1 or 2 turns earlier, but I did hold on to it kind of to wait to see if I could get a better lineup. Um, but in general, yeah, I mean the deck just worked for me. It's when you top deck 3 wild draw 4s in a game that's not a clear runaway for the other side, it's usually gonna work for you.
Uh, yeah. Sure. I'm not sure what happened there. But yeah, we're gonna get game 2 started. Uh, something in my audio go out? I'm not sure. Let me reset my headphones. Okay, I think something happened to call me. Leave and rejoin.
All right.
Okay, there we go. All right, I'm not sure what happened there, but we're back.
It seems like we're going all over the place, and it's only the start of game 2. This is gonna be fun.
Well, staying with the yellow for now, which is what we started on. Gabriel decided not to jump onto the yellow reverse there. He is gonna make a big chain here in the blue. Throws a +6 at AiCo, so that's gonna throw him all the way back to 17 cards here. So AiCo has some work to do to get back in this, but gonna immediately switch off the blue and the red.
Interested here, because that +6 could mean a major difference later on in the game. And it also makes me curious if Gabriel has any more blues that he could mess around with. Because here's the thing. If AiCoVT comes back from this, I'm going to be curious to what Gabriel had at the time. But we're going to find out, because it looks like Gabriel could still keep on trucking here.
All right, well, Gabriel keeps it going, goes with the +2, now goes into green with the wild. So, I mean, this has been a decent run of things so far for Gabriel. They go back to 17
Yeah,
cards once again.
this is Owen mentality right here. And Owen mentality
Okay.
can be very risky for an array of reasons. Up, here we go.
Okay,
What the?
so, all right,
Hmm.
there was a slight, I think there was a slight error there,
Maybe
but
red reverse?
I think there's, yeah, okay, I forgot the blue skip. That's
Oh,
what it was.
blue skip. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the
As
first one. He tried to do two blue reverses accidentally, but it didn't have the second one. That's a mistake where it's like that's not really. It happened in a place where that didn't hurt Aiko, but he is a little fortunate that it happened there as opposed to somewhere else. Because if it was something where the switch already happened, that would have been a problem. Um, but
absolutely. Oh
oh,
my
okay.
goodness. I think we may have a god hand, but AiCo is replying perfectly so far.
Gabriel's
Flushed out the
being
wild, now flushed out the +4. What else does Gabriel have
yeah, Gabriel's being
that could
super
potentially give him
aggressive.
the victory? Oh yeah, it makes me wonder if he has a god hand. Cause you're going to win like that, that is one possibility you gotta consider. Maybe a god hand that could give him the plan A victory.
Let's see. He's typing, so I think there's gonna be another play here, and
Yeah, you've gotta be kidding me! What? What?
ah,
Two
I
wilds and 3+4s? Okay. Yup. I think this bot might be a little drunk. Yep. We need to go home.
we don't need to be saying that, but yeah, I don't really think there's
Okay.
much to say on that. That is a bonkers starting hand there. So, Gabriel able to get back into this. I mean, that is I don't really think there's much to say on that one. Gabriel just kind of ran that one down. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just kind of hilarious how that worked out. 3+4, 3+2s, two wilds. It almost didn't matter what EICO had. It was very unlikely that things would have been done, even if it would have went to a plan C, for crying out loud, for Gabriel. So that's pretty unfortunate on EICO's end. But on the flip side, at least we're tied. I mean, that's better than going down 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's just really bizarre. No draw ammo, so literally nothing shot at power play block that. Yeah, I mean, that seemed like Aiko was just along for the ride there. Well, the good news for Aiko is he has the call for game 3 here, so looking to try and regroup after game 2 ended up being a complete wash. So we'll see what he goes with. Gonna go with 14 here, so gonna go a little higher. We went with 12 last game, gonna go 2 up. Alright, and blue 6 to open up this game here. So, I mean, after that one, the game kind of just reset again. We're kind of going back into a best of 5 here. And that is a very peculiar start here for Aiko, who draws on the first turn. I'm wondering if
Yeah,
my...
yeah, going up to the high tier this time for AiCo. So this is a little interesting, and I am curious about this call, morely because Gabriel won on 12. So we'll see if the high tier makes a difference, or Gabriel may have some sort of an advantage, knowing he won on 12. Because if he wins on 14, I think this gives a bit of an indication to where his call for game 5 will be. But for now, at least we play calm.
I mean,
Well, not anymore.
I think it's tough to really get a big read on anything for the game 2 one because I was just like an absurd hand from Gabriel. So like unless he gets another absurd hand here, I don't know if there's too much to read off that with the 12, but uh anyways, we got a 3-card run here from Aiko, gonna throw a +2 in there, which he was sorely missing in the last game. So we'll see how Gabriel
Yeah.
responds.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, right now, AiCoVT trying to do anything he can to counteract the aggression that Gabriel had in the last game, but you do bring up a fair point. He had an OP hand that I don't think I have seen in my time in the booth at all. So, we'll see how this works out, because this will be a critical call for AiCoVT because if he wins, maybe he stays in the high tier. If he loses, there's a fair shot that he may try the low tier. So this definitely will dictate where Game 4 could potentially go as AiCoVT switches it to red and has the lead.
Yeah, I mean, it's all going to come down to a vibes thing, depending on how this one goes. But
Speaking of
+2
vibes,
from Gabriel. That's going to give Gabriel the lead here. AiCo up to 11.
yep,
And that was right after the
the
switch to the red
classic
here.
Punisher.
All right.
Classic Punisher,
So
as I like to call it, G. Switch a color and you get instantly +2 to +4, something like that. That's what I like to call classic punishment right there, as both are able to reply. And it is now a close race, 8-8 right now.
So yeah, I mean, running red here. Gabriel with the position arrow lead. That might be an outright lead depending on what happens here because he is taking a bit to type. Nope. Okay, but we do get a wild. So another wild. I don't think AiCo has played a wild yet in this series, so he's still looking for his first. But that yell is actually going to allow AiCo to take the lead here with a double play.
Yeah, I mean, this is Pandora's box here that we are opening up. And Gabriel getting bent just a little bit. Not too hard, though, because he is still within striking distance to take the lead back. But when you go on Pandora's box, everything is out in the open. And here we go, back to red. I
There's
think
that
AiCoVT was looking for the yellow.
There's that first wild there. Yeah, going in the red, we're just gonna have to see how these hands shape up the end of it because both are low. It's kind of going to be the point where it's all or nothing here on what we got, but Gabriel taking a second, looking to respond, and gonna use a +4. Gonna go in the blue. That could have very much been tried to be saved for a finish here. So, for AiCo, maybe brought that out early, but still not in a great spot here as he goes up to 8. Gabriel down to 2.
Honestly, I mean, at that point,
I think that's the right
well,
move. Depending on the circumstance, and yeah, you see that there. If you have that second wild, try to force the
yeah.
red there. Because I mean, if Gabriel ends up having that second +4, then it's like just there's nothing you can do there. So I think that's the right call for AiCo there, and that's gonna force Gabriel into a hefty draw here as AiCo looking to run down this red.
Yeah. Tough break for Gabriel. I mean, you try to flush him out with a +4, but turned out that second wild flushes out the +4. I mean, it's kind of crazy to come to think about it. Every time a wild gets played, the previous wild gets flushed, and it doesn't matter what it is. As
Ooh,
Gabriel finally got out of red and
yeah,
it doesn't work.
yeah. AiCo's getting his way on that one there. I think he wanted to switch the green. Gabriel still does have the lead though, so and now we go back to
Oh
red
my
here. So
goodness!
I think this is forcing a stall. No, but AiCo still has the red. So this might actually
Wow!
this might not work for Gabriel here. So I think
Oh.
he was trying to flush for a double draw, and that just completely blew up. So
Oh my goodness. That might not necessarily be the fatal switch, but it may definitely be a fatal switch. I'm emphasizing the difference here.
well, AiCo gets the Uno here, gets another
Oh
switch
my
in the
goodness,
red,
that's
and
a
that one is
gamble.
gonna
And it
that one's gonna save it.
works!
That one's gonna save it. Yeah,
Wow. Good
yeah.
move by Gabriel. The strategy worked to the end. And now that potentially saves the game, forcing AiCoVT to come up with a new plan in a hurry.
Yeah, I mean that red one was definitely something Gabriel was able to draw in one of those last 2 turns there, so that came at a really crucial time for him. Because the first switch blew up in his face, but that second one's gonna at least keep him going. But yeah, both not able to have much on red, so this is gonna be a bit of a reset here. AiCo breaks it up with the blue though, and he's looking to try and run it.
I feel like if you're AiCo, you needed to be the one that breaks out of the switch first before Gabriel. Because you already have the lead, you could potentially set yourself up if you have the clear path. For Gabriel, yep, here we go. Honestly, worst case scenario, hope the Lord above you have a +2 or something of the sort. And Gabriel once again does the Punisher on AiCoVT, and we even things up.
All right, 4-5 here. Yeah, both are even. But Gabriel now has the position to lead with that +2 though, so We'll see how long blue can run. Not very long, though. He's out. AiCo looking to keep it going.
Despite the +2, this could still help AiCo get to the finish.
And that's it.
Oh my goodness. I'm curious what he got for that +2. That is for sure. Did he save the +4 or did he get it from the +2?
We'll see, but AiCo with the 2-1 lead. I mean, AiCo, if you want to elaborate on that, feel free to do so.
Yeah, I I'm pretty sure that draw 2 gave me the red skip and the wild draw 4, which made me feel a little ugly for a second, but then I kind of realized I just had to run it out on blue and I'd be able to make it work from there.
Ooh.
Last card on the red one. Oh, I had a blue 7. Yeah, in hindsight I could have power played off the red 7 to get to green and done that, but I'm glad it worked out this way and I didn't use it.
All right, so I mean, it works out there, but ultimately, didn't actually have the finish there. I mean, that's still, I mean, it still was the right call there for Gabriel to switch because you don't really know the situation on green there. But, yeah, I mean, that kind of forced that reset. It ran blue, which was what AiCo needed, and then just kind of was able to take it from there. So, I mean, again, 2-1 lead here. Virginia Tech, coached by James Franklin here, has the call for game 4.
Yeah, that's awkward, but hey, you do what you gotta do. Right now, with that victory on the high tier, makes me curious. Oh, still goes to low tier. That
This
is an
is
interesting take, but hey,
this is AiCo's bread and butter here, so I'm not too surprised that we're seeing the 7. But yellow 8 gonna start things off. We'll see how this goes. And that is a huge start for AiCo.
Oh
Gonna immediately get rid
my.
of 3 cards.
That's what you gotta do on low tier. Low tier, you gotta get them out and you gotta be aggressive. Full send it if necessary, even if it means having to use the power play. I mean, heck, even if you've gotta use it early, you gotta do it to win the game because you don't know what your opponent has in for the rest of the match,
I don't think
especially
this
in high
is.
tier.
We do have a wild red, but I don't necessarily think that's bad for AiCo yet. It obviously depends on what Gabriel had, because I mean, if he comes swinging with like a +2 or something, then it's gonna be a little bit problematic for him. But so far, just numbers here. Can he keep it running on red? No, he only has 1 red, so not able to get that switch.
Well, at least Gabriel had the call when icing him out. And it looks like, even though it didn't work immediately, it may possibly work for Gabriel to set up for a big run if necessary, because he is typing and typing for a bit. Yep.
Yeah. It's going to be a 3-card run of his own, and we go into green. So, I mean, Gabriel definitely with the big advantage here at the moment here, really just kind of running this through. Green 9 for AiCo. Can Gabriel get the Uno? Gets the Uno on the green 8, so we'll see what AiCo does. Yeah, may not have many options here. Gonna go with
Yeah,
green
low
7.
tier, unfortunately, I'm planning that's not likely as yep. Here it is, tied up again. 2
That
to 2.
actually lined up pretty well for Gabriel there, because, I mean, you had the wild to set that up on the red, and then just you run red green, so that actually worked out pretty well. Red 2, blue +2, didn't want to leave it open, so
Ooh, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, I can definitely see the logic right there, but once again, sometimes a low tier, you gotta go full aggressive, full fast, take the gamble, because even if you get some cards hit back, the least you can do is try to stall the game as long as you possibly can. But, I mean, I can understand taking the safe avenue, but unfortunately, it didn't really work for him. But hey, once again, at least it's tied. It's better than going down 1-3.
yeah, I mean, this has kind of been interesting also, though, because Gabriel's been taking more of the quick games and AiCo's been taking the longer ones, so I'm going to be wondering if that actually plays an impact on how Game 5 and Game 6 go here. But, I mean, Gabriel, it's 2-2 here. You have the Game 5 call. Just kind of any thoughts heading into this here as the series is played out?
Yeah, I'm really glad that it's tied up at least, so we can have a respectable series. And right after he did the triple play and at the beginning, I was getting a little concerned because I didn't want to use my wild right away. But well, I had to risk it to perhaps stall him down just for a little bit. While it was immediate, it did work well for the second time, and I was managed to use my get my 3 card run with also 2 reverses of my own to steal the game. So I'm glad it worked. And
Mm,
yellow one right here for to start game 5.
Yep.
I'll actually
Uh,
interject real quick. It's actually really good you did that because that one draw I took on red instead of opting for the draw twos was a green 9. So I almost definitely would have just been able to run out there off of the yellow 9 and go out when you switched.
Oh, okay.
All right. As it looks like we're going to go to game 5. Unfortunately, not too much time to chit chat. As it looks like it's going to be Gabriel that does get the first card to play on the yellow 1. We've been having plenty of starts on a yellow, oddly enough.
all right, and that's gonna be the second game in a row we start with a big 3 card run to kick off the game here, and it's gonna lead to an immediate switch into blue. So, and that is not the start Aiko wanted to see
Oh,
whatsoever. Gonna
force 3-color
immediately
meta.
draw.
Hate to see it.
Yeah, not really what Aiko wants to see at the start. He did actually draw on the 14 on his first turn also, so this is not necessarily the first time he's drawn with a good amount of cards in his hand off the start of the game, but um, we're just gonna have to see how this plays out. Gabriel's gonna draw as well here, so
Oh my.
that's
And off to a top deck on the draw.
hmm.
This is awkward. Okay, I guess we're stuck on blue from the get-go
Well,
somehow. Alright, I see how it
no,
is.
no. I'm not sure what to make of that move. We'll have to see later. But Aiko's gonna go with the switch to yellow. We'll have to see how that plays out, but it's gonna be running yellow for the time being, which was what we started on. So Gabriel did have that switch in the blue, and he's gonna go for a +4.
Oh
So
my.
Gabriel looking
Back
to
with the full in mentality right there. This
yeah
is either another possible God hand or this could be something else. And as we got the +2 from AiCo, he is not messing around this time. He has the ammo and he's ready to fire on back.
well Gabriel I think it's interesting because that's the second time he's swapped off that yellow here. For Aiko, it's just kind of been running along with the colors for now. Besides that switch off blue, but yeah, it's just gonna be a red run for now. I think both are okay with this. It's the colors seem to be playing a big factor earlier on in this game though, so I'm just gonna have to wonder how this is gonna shape up as we get along and get closer to the finish here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you never know what your opponent really has. It all varies on the reads, but so far, the reads have not been too applicable. As here we go on to blue. Okay. Back to the awkward phase, G, possibly. Unless he switches it out to blue. Oh, this explains a thing or two. I think Gabriel might or might not have wanted to save the blue action cards to form a chain here to get a clearer path for the victory.
Well, this is a familiar spot for Aiko to be in at 17 cards, and this time he's gonna go with the +4 right away. I mean, that's kind of a fair move there. You really don't know what Gabriel's got there, but I mean, Gabriel's just kind of been taking like a lead, kind of taking advantage of the lead here in a good chunk of the series. So,
Yeah, I
down
mean,
low.
AiCo has been unable to close down any huge gap that Gabriel has set out so far, which is a little interesting, but now that he used the +4, it makes me wonder what else is in the bank here for AiCo to possibly snag this critical game 5.
All right, well, green 2 here from Aiko. Still bringing it down here, but really looking for a draw. And we do get into that yellow here. We'll see how this goes because we've really not stayed on this yellow at all during this game so far. 3-card run from AiCo, so able to get that going. But Gabriel actually does not get anything out of that and is going to draw. So I think Gabriel was hoping to find a quick switch there and didn't get it right away. Could get it on this 9 though. No, just top 6 to yellow 3. So I mean that's not a terrible spot to be in also. Ditto play there. But nothing there. So yeah, I mean Gabriel was hoping for a quick switch and did not get it.
Yeah, that's what AiCo may have needed. Ooh, and then switch to blues. That might be a potential gamble, but hey, late in the series, you got to make those gambles every once in a while.
I mean, this is kind of getting closer to one of those longer games here, which AiCo has been able to do well in so far. Gabriel able to play the blue now, but I wonder if AiCo has his lineup set. Switches in the red.
Trying to take advantage of the number efficiency over there by AiCo. And it works! Iced out on red for Gabriel.
Yeah, AiCo looking to keep this going here. Could this be the win here for AiCo to make it 3-2? We'll see. He has that 5 cards. Not going to be a direct finish here, but this is looking good for AiCo at the moment. Plays the wild in the greens, just having a lot of good control on the colors here.
Yeah, the heat gets
And
higher and
that's where he
higher and
lost
up.
it. Well,
Yeah,
that's not what he wanted to see there.
At this point, Gabriel just constantly has the +2s at the ready as soon as the color comes to him, which honestly, at this point, I mean, this is a good move by Gabriel. This is a fantastic move, as a matter of fact. Oh my goodness!
Well, okay, so that's gonna. I'm not sure if that's gonna be the lineup AiCo was hoping for at the end there, or if he actually got that from the +2. But I think for AiCo, kind of in a similar spot where he used the first +4. Gabriel at 2 cards didn't really want to risk it there. We do get a switch into the red here, which for now AiCo is good with, but we'll have to see how long this goes.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, with all these color switches,
man,
it just
another
makes it.
wild.
Oh my! AiCo is having the defense and offenses now. This is a heater. Gabriel might have nothing.
I
Let's see.
I think this is not a good spot for Gabriel to be in unless he's got something here to line for the end. He draws, and I think that's gonna do it. No, it's not. Okay, so AiCo did not have the finish there. He doesn't have the blue to wrap it up. So actually did not have that lined up there, so it's gonna have to depend on the top deck here, and not gonna get it. So I'm wondering if AiCo was feeling a little bit. I'm wondering if AiCo was feeling a little bit nervous on that red there. Maybe went for the switch early, but yeah, did not actually have that finish lined up. Was hoping for a color switch and just did not get it. So Gabriel taking a second to type. Maybe looking for a big top deck.
He might have something. There is a valid chance he has something. Yep. Call it in. This is a risk now. Back to green.
Well, AiCo gets the Uno right away here, so
back to the same position we were a minute ago.
We'll see. I mean, just gonna roll with it. Doubles down on the green, and it will pay off. So nothing for AiCo. And Gabriel got a power play. Not gonna take any chances on that.
Fair enough. I mean, this is a critical game 5. You win this game, you force your opponent into a pretty precarious situation. Does have the power play advantage, but now it brings in the urgency to possibly force out that power play, possibly in the next game to keep themselves alive if needed. But good race to the finish. Great color control by both players, but turned out to be Gabriel with a number efficiency for the win.
Right. AiCo mentioned he was gonna use the power play. So I'm wondering if he got something on the top deck. Which I mean, yeah, I was gonna mention that he would not have been able to use it since Gabriel got the Uno. But that actually, what's it called? That actually would have won him the game because Gabriel would not have been able to play off that. So that actually ends up being the right use of power play there because being able to ensure that helps Gabriel win that because if he didn't use power play, he would have lost that.
Yeah, absolutely. That is one of the best examples of using the power play just like that to the finish. So, really, for AiCoVT, even if AiCoVT wouldn't have used the power play, he would have won either way. So, honestly, better on Gabriel's part than on AiCo if he would have used his. So, maybe it is good that he wasn't able to use his power play right there. As, oh boy, full send on his final call.
Alright, gonna go with a full send here. AiCo did win on 14, so we'll see if he can win on 15. This will lock out 15 if it goes to game 7, though, so we'll see if AiCo gets the win or if the series ends here.
Yeah, I mean, here's the funny thing. If AiCo gets the win on 15, Gabriel could still use the full send. So, potential of a back-to-back.
Well, starting with red, gonna just keep it calm for now. But okay, we'll see where this goes. It's gonna be a double play. Gabriel will take the position arrow lead there, but again, nothing too crazy here, just a double play. And that's gonna be not quite the start Gabriel was hoping for. They're gonna have to draw only at those 2 reds there off the start. Well, the good news for him was how many cards there are. There's a good chance he can get that immediate switch, and he will, but AiCo with the crossover.
Yeah, I mean, so far, number efficiency has been reigning supreme here for half of these games. And oh, back to red. This is where the color control really comes into play. Something we've seen all match.
And yeah, that's not really what Gabriel wanted to see. He was hoping to be done with red for now, but draws there, and actually AiCo draws as well, so now both are stuck on red. Alright, and just gonna change the ammo card left open there, but AiCo gonna close it.
Yep.
Alright, yellow
Gabriel
7.
bringing it back to yellow. Trying a certain form of a
So
two-color
just kind of running
strategy.
yellow now. This is looking to be 3-color here as we get things going down. AiCo with the lead.
Not a lot on green, though, so I'm primarily seeing this as a two-color game until we
Alright, yellow 3.
really see a lot of cards
Keep
being
it
thrown
going
out
on
on
the yellows
green.
here. I think my headphones are betraying me again.
Duh. Yeah,
Yeah.
it happens sometimes. Nothing you can do at that front. As it looks like AiCoVT trying to pull away, trying to do anything he can to continue this match, force a game.
Alright, is it working now? Okay, it's still on.
Right now, AiCo still holding under control. 2-card lead at the moment. And brings in the heater.
I don't think this is a good spot for Gabriel to be in here.
Oh,
I really think
this is
AiCo
not
is going to be able to
good.
run this down. Unless he
Oh,
could get some
yeah.
sort of switch. Well, there's your
And he
switch.
does! Whoop, you called it, G.
I don't know if it's going to
I'm
matter.
gonna
Yeah,
say,
no,
oh my goodness!
that was what I was
Game
concerned about.
7 with the power play advantage. This is essentially best case scenario for AiCo.
That was what I was concerned about, though, because we had not seen a +4 and so far in that run. I also was not thinking Gabriel had a great hand there because earlier on in the game he left both a skip and a reverse open, so I felt like he was not working with a great hand there. And
Okay.
yeah, there it is.
Yeah. once again, bot not being so kind on that one, but they did end up with a lot of draws, so I'm going to play benefit of the doubt on this one more than game one.
Yeah, but I think for AiCo, I mean, as soon as I saw that wild come in there and Gabriel drawing, I was feeling like AiCo had it in the bag there because I mean, I think it was depending on what it was. I was thinking there could have been a +4, there could have not been a +4, but Gabriel's only shot there was to get the switch. He did get the switch, but obviously, as it turned out, it did not matter with the +4 there. So, yeah, well, this is the second game in a row. Gabriel goes to 7 in, and for AiCo going into 7 on this one here for the first time this tournament, I believe. I mean, AiCo, I mean, you get the win there. Kind of the last two games have been an inverse of what we've seen so far because you got the shorter one here, and then Gabriel got the longer one in the last one. But just kind of how you're feeling heading into game 7 here, as this will be winner takes all here for the first spot in the regional finals.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a little bummed knowing that game 5 was just so close, and that if Gabriel tried to stick with the green to go out without using the power play, I would be at 4 wins here most likely. But I'm still very happy to have a power play going in the last game. I know that there are plenty of times where that won't mean anything, but it does feel a little reassurance to have something in my pocket.
All right, and Gabriel, going to you here. This is the second game in a row. You're going 7 here. You will have to call for game 7, but just kind of your your kind of thoughts with how this has played out so far, and just kind of how you're feeling heading into this final match here.
Yeah, I'm feeling nervous, which, of course, is always that emotion that you feel when you go to game 7, especially since this is actually a familiar territory for me because over 50% of my matches have gone to game 7. And I don't know if you remember how many exactly have gone to game 7, but I can tell it was over 50% of my matches. And I'm being dead serious that if I did not power play right there at the end of game 5 to secure the win, I would have been eliminated by now. So I'm glad that I at least used my power play to get this game 7 opportunity. So my call for game 7 is 13.
All right.
Good luck.
Gonna go 13 here, staying high tier. AiCo does have the power play still in his hand here, so we'll see how that comes out, whether it be just lining up for the win, or if Gabriel's in an advantage, maybe just having to play it in a way where it has to be more defensive. But here we go, starting with Blue 9 here, final game of the series here. Winner gets Nightwalker in the Saxophone Regional Finals. All right, going with Blue here to start. Yeah, that's just gonna be how we go, kind of multiples of 3 here for the numbers to start this one off. But there's your first switch. Still keeping the multiples of 3 here. I'm not sure if Cody is here. But
Oh, yes, I was just checking through a couple of things here as it looks like we are indeed starting a bit calm on this one.
okay. I was just checking
I've
because like
been back
I've
to
been
our
having
favorite color of the match, yellow.
I was just checking because I've been having some slight output issues on my end. It's still been picking up fine on the stream, but like at least for me here, I've been having some slight issues. So I was just trying to make sure that was still working, but we should be fine. But this has been all numbers so far here. So no one's making any big moves here. I think this puts a slight advantage towards AiCo as he's gonna go with the wilds back into the blue. So we'll see how this runs here, but yeah, all numbers games so far. And there's your first ammo. Well, it's actually second ammo card of the wild, but there's your first chain, and I'll give AiCo the outright lead here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, AiCo doing anything he needs to do, but the big switch by Gabriel, that could be a gamble because AiCo could use his power play at any time to seal the victory, pull another upset, and basically try to pull a similar movement that Mark did last year from being out of the championship hunt to going as far as to even be one of the top players of the season. We're not quite there yet, but for AiCoVT, it would be huge if he pulled an upset run like that and knocked down any top 25 player he can get to. And
Well,
there it
goes for
is!
the power play here. We'll see. Again, it ain't over till it's over, because I mean this has been a very close game 7 here, but this has also been plan A for both, so
Could be just
okay,
flat out
yeah.
resignation. Yep,
I think that's
yep,
going to be it.
possibly +4, something
That's
else.
it.
That's an upset. Once again.
Yeah,
Huge
I
win.
mean that was kind of just a plan A game there to end it. Yeah, I wasn't really sure how the switch the I think the switch the green unfortunately kind of helped Aiko more than it helped Gabriel there, unfortunately. Because I mean, Aiko just kind of able to run that red there and didn't even have to use the +4 to switch the color in that moment. But yeah, I mean that was a quite a tense one there for both. But in the end, Aiko able to get the win there. And I mean the way the stats played out are interesting because Aiko does have the +4 advantage, but it was 10-3 on the +2s there. So I think with how this shapes up, this is actually going to end up being a somewhat even card string metric once that gets figured
Yeah.
out. But
Yeah, somewhat even. I mean, look, there is a difference between a lopsided game and a lopsided match. And trust me as I say, G, there have been quite a few lopsided games. But for the games that truly mattered, both of them played their hardest. It was a race to the finish for the most part. And we have seen some crazy sequences to win this match. Honestly, this was a great top 25 matchup between the two. And for AiCoVT, pulling off another upset against a player who was entering T4 on the D2 championship bubble right below the cut line. So this will once again shake things up as AiCoVT gets another bubble player knocked out of contention just like that.
we'll see how this goes for the rankings. But gonna go to Aiko to start here. Big win here. Moving on to the regional finals. We'll get Nightwalker there. But walk me through your immediate reactions to that one. Not the most flashy game 7 win there, but of course got the job done there. So that's gonna be the most important thing at the end of the day. But just kind of immediate thoughts here, as after the rough mid season, you were back in the regional finals here and looking to potentially make your first Final Four and get some redemption after coming up a bit short in that tournament 1 match. But just kind of your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, oh my God. Had so many nerves going into this match. So I'm really glad that, it didn't take me out and I come out on top of it all. That last game, I kind of immediately regretted just playing the green 2 and not opting to switch with my skips over to red before I used the power play. But I'm really glad that it worked out for me. But there's nothing that made me more nervous than Gabriel typing out that that green reverse in green 2, because it just time slowed down and it feels like an hour, and you feel like they're about to go 6 cards in a row on me here when I'm right about to go out, just like game 5 did. Um, Obviously not as many cards, but it does just scare the hell out of you. But I am absolutely ecstatic to have just pulled out with this win, to have really gotten that 7th win and really pulled myself into that top echelon of people that will have a good chance at getting into D2 chip here. But the best I could do is keep pushing forward and try and beat my old best of the regional finals and really get one of those shiny little Final Four rolls for this server. But yeah, absolutely great match. Huge props to Gabriel. Played fantastic. Could not be happier to be moving on though.
All right, congratulations to Aiko on the win. Again, you faced Nightwalker in the Saxophone Regional Final. Going to go over to Gabriel here. Obviously not the result you wanted, but you did mention in the channel there. Went down with dignity there. I'm not sure really if there was much options you had in that final game there. Obviously, I don't really know the full extent of what your hand looked like there, but just kind of immediate thoughts from this game here, and just kind of looking forward as I do think we will be seeing you again this season. As to where we'll be remains to be seen, but I do think we'll be seeing you again at some point this season. But just kind of any thoughts on this matchup here and your run from Jazz July.
Yeah, it's sad that that my run ended like this in the Syncopated 16, but I could not have been happier that I managed to bounce back after a disappointing medieval mayhem in May to managing to get back to the round of 16, which I still believe I am guaranteed at least the LCQ. And as you said, you guys will be seeing me more at the D2 Championship. At least at LCQ, I think I'm guaranteed. And yeah, went down with dignity, unlike the Final Four from Jamar, which we do not talk about it anymore. But it was very great that my Final Four run was not a one-off, like just one run and then I'm not gonna be able to do anything else in the other tournaments. So I'm I'm very happy that I managed to get a decent run to end my regular season. Now I'm gonna wait for the results and the review of the D2 Championship after this tournament. And huge congratulations to AiCoVT on a very good win. It was pretty close. And yeah, that is it for me for the regular season. So see you at the LCQ at least.
Yes, I am. Well, thank you, Gabriel, for the comments. Again, great match here to end off the stream slate for the Syncopated 16. Still got 2 more matches to go here in this round, though, and then we're off to the regional finals here. Let's take a look at the bracket once again here. AiCoVT with the win. He moves on to face Nightwalker. That should be a good matchup here for Nightwalker. He is still one of those players who is really trying to fight for his spot in the playoffs outright. So, could he repeat his magic from 2024? That would be pretty crazy because he was actually coming into this tournament in a very similar spot as he was in that 2024 run. So that could be a that could be just tournament 4 has been his magic run where his magic runs happened. So we'll see how that goes. That'll be where the best of 9 start. And we'll see who ends up coming out on top and winning that matchup there. But that'll do it. Cody, any final thoughts on this game here? And just kind of how are you feeling about that regional final matchup as we continue to lock up these matches for the next round here, as I believe this is our second regional final confirmed, so still have 2 more to confirm, but AiCoVT versus Nightwalker here should be a good one. That's definitely going to be a clash of styles.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, right now it definitely will be like Clash of Styles and Clash of Experience because, I mean, Nightwalker, I mean, he has basically found his groove after, winning T4 here in 24, had a rough 25 season, get brought back down to D2, now trying to earn any sort of championship berth the hard way. And now, I mean, with AiCoVT beating out a couple of big players, this will somehow be his biggest challenge yet, not for ranking, but for prestige. So, I mean, we'll see how AiCoVT does in the best of 9 against one of the best here in D2 as of this year. And we'll see who steps it up.
All right, well, that'll do it for the stream here. Thank you all for watching. Again, congrats to AiCoVT on the win, but on both our players. Our referee Yepes, want to thank him for repping. My co-commentator Cody Smart. And everyone came out to watch. Thank you so much for watching this stream. That'll do it for the Syncopated 16 for the stream slate. Again, still got 2 more matches to go in this round, but then after that, we are off to the regional finals round, and we'll see how that one shapes out. Because again, I mean, even though for some of these players, they're feeling pretty solid about the playoff spot. There's still an auto bid to the T2 Championship up for grabs here, and for some of these players, that very much could be what they need to do to make it into the D2 Championship, and avoid the LCQ. So, still going to be a lot to fight for all these players here. But until then, I'm G-Man. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you all for the regional finals of Jazz July. But until then, have a good one, and we will see you all then.